Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, Sunday evening. Good evening, everyone. Come on in, come on in. This is Joel and Naomi of the Marriage Investors, and I know it's Super Bowl Sunday. It's like 7:23, and we're here live trying to get on and be with you guys again on Sunday.
Hello.
It's the first Sunday in February. Hey, everybody.
Come on in.
Come on
How's
in.
it going? Super Bowl Sunday.
Absolutely. Super Bowl Sunday. What's going on, everybody? How you doing?
Do us a favor. Why don't you come on, check on in. Let us know your name. Let us know where you're coming in from. Your city, your state, your town. Come on in. Let us see the
Come on
lights
in,
and love.
everybody.
This is Joel and Naomi coming live from Chicago, Shot City.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Come on in. Where you calling in from? Where you joining us from? Tell us where you're joining us from. We're here in Shot City in Chicago. This is Joel and Naomi Mitchell of the Marriage Investors, and we're so delighted to be with you guys on this first Sunday in February. Hey, come on, I need to scoot up
Carol,
just a little bit. Memphis, Tennessee.
Hey, what's up, our accountability brother, Michael? What's up, Mike? How you doing?
Hey, Latanya, how you doing? Come on in, Latanya.
We are interrupting your scheduled broadcast Super Bowl
South
to come
Carolina,
in
you're in Chucktown. All right.
with the
Absolutely.
Marriage Investors BMWK take over. We're taking over BMWK and the Super Bowl tonight.
Absolutely. Hey, come on in. Enlarge that for me so I can see her now. Hey, come on in. We're going to share. We ask that you guys, hey, Virginia, come on in. Yorktown, Virginia. That's our accountability partners. Hey, that's Chucktown, South Carolina, Latanya. It's so good to be with you all on this Super Bowl Sunday. But guess what? We're not watching the Super Bowl. We're here with you guys. Right. What did it say? I can't see. I need to read it. Oh! Don't make this hurt too bad. I know, I'm sorry, right?
It won't hurt. It won't hurt. It won't hurt. It's all good.
Listen, I was just laughing. My daughter and I were just laughing at Joel because we're boycotting the Super Bowl because of everything with Colin Kaepernick and all that's been going on this year. So we aren't watching, and we can't say, like you said, Michael, that is not painful. My boys were watching it, though. They made a conscious choice to watch it, even though we share with them the reason why we weren't. But at any rate, they love you back, Michael. And so anyway, Joel is hollering downstairs saying, "What's the score? Who was that just made a touchdown? What are they doing now?" I'm like, "You might as well be down there watching the game." My daughter and I was like, my daughter said, "You hear Daddy?" I said, "Yes, I hear him. I know it's hurting, but he's trying to hang in there."
I'm trying to be faithful.
we
trying to be
wanna
faithful to the
encourage.
cause.
Come on in, everybody. We're here. I see you, St. Louis, in the house. Come on in, Roslyn. Hey, I know that's the truth. Absolutely. But come on in. Come on in, everybody. We're so glad to be with you on tonight. And tonight we have a topic that we want to discuss with you. You know how you call into the radio and they say, "Turn down your radio." We need to turn down our radio. We're trying to share this information. So we're inviting you guys, please hit share, show us some love, show us some hearts, and then tag someone that you think that may want to be on tonight, because tonight we're talking about, are you doing are you doing life with your spouse, or are you marking time? Are you doing life, or are you marking time? And we're going to show you 4 ways. We're going to talk about 4 ways to enjoy the time that you spend with your spouse.
Hey, Mandy, how you doing?
Hey, Mandy. It's
What's
good,
going on?
good that you decided to join us. Thanks, sis. Listen.
Yeah.
Share, tag, invite someone, let people know that the Marriage Investors are on tonight. We are on Sunday Night Takeover with Black and Married with Kids. Show us some love, everybody. And then we want to thank our dear friends, Lamar and Ronnie Tyler, for allowing us to share with you all every Sunday evening.
Yes.
What a blessing. What a privilege it's been to spend time with you guys. And thanks so much for spending your time with us. We don't take it for granted because you could choose to be any other place, but you planned on being here with us. And so we're so grateful about it. Hey, Brother T.
What's
Reverend
up, T? Tyrone?
Hey,
congratulations again.
Come on in, everybody. Do me a favor again and hit like, hit share, show us some hearts, hit share, tag someone who wants to find out if they're if they're doing life with their spouse or are they marking time. We're going to talk about that.
That's powerful.
It's heavy. That's the challenge that we're asking you guys to consider on tonight. And then we're going to teach you 4 ways of how you can enjoy time with your spouse. Go ahead, honey.
No, just a couple more housekeeping rules. If you are watching this and you want to get more information from Black and Married with Kids, BMWK, do us a favor, type in update so Lamar and Ronnie will know that you all are interested in getting more information from BMWK. This is an awesome ministry. It's worldwide, global, international. We have people joining us from Canada, from Africa, from around the globe. And so if you want to connect with more of these great couples, Black and married, with children, with kids, we ask that you hit update. And also, if you happen to join this by way of replay, we ask that you would just type in replay.
Yes.
And not only that, one more thing and we can get started. We are Joel and Naomi Mitchell of the Marriage Investors. Stay tuned with us. We're going to be sharing some great information. We're also going to be giving out some free tips and tidbits. If you go to our website, themarriageinvestors.com, we're going to be sharing 5 tips on how to manage conflict. And we're also running our special if you are in need of any coaching, Christian, sound coaching, and counseling. We're giving away a free 30-minute consultation. We want to journey with you. We know that there's so many attacks that's coming against our marriages today. And we want to let you know that you are not in this alone. There are people, including Naomi and I, who are willing to join in with you. And so tonight we're about to get started. Are you doing life or are you doing time?
Marking time.
Are you just marking time? And this is so exciting to me because oftentimes we hear, in marriages, people say, oh, I've been married 20 years, 30 years, 50 years. But in that relationship, in that marriage, we want to talk about the difference between just surviving and being in a thriving relationship. So we don't want to just mark time. We said we want to be in life together. We want to enjoy life together. So, Nay, you want to kick us off? You want to get started?
Absolutely. So let's open up with a word of prayer.
Heavenly Father,
we want to invite the presence of the Holy Spirit in, and then we'll move forward.
Heavenly Father, we come into your presence to say thank you. We thank you for this ministry. We thank you, oh God, for allowing us to come into the airways and the homes of all of these couples. We pray that you will bless our time of sharing. Bless these couples. Meet them at their point of need. We want to help them, Lord God, walk with them, journey with them as they talk about the difference between just surviving and being in a thriving relationship.
Yeah.
So we just thank you now. We offer it up to you. It's in Jesus' name and for sake we do pray. Amen.
Yeah, so the first thing we want to talk about. So again, we just want to preface this by saying, and Carolyn, yes, we will get to the point because we know that your time is precious and we want to make sure that you get all of this. So I hope you're still with us. But listen, hey, Brandon, listen, we want to talk about the difference between doing life together or marking time. So doing life means that you're enjoying your spouse, that you love one another, that you're making the days count, that you living, each day, one day at a time, and you're enjoying being with your spouse. But doing time means that you're just kind of checking off the calendar. Yep, we made it through this day. Yep, we made it through that day, and you're barely making it. As my husband said, that you're just surviving, but you're not thriving in your relationship. And so we want you to be able to live life. We don't want you to feel like you're in a ball and chain and that you are, just kind of forced to be with your spouse. but we want to give you some ways that you can do life and enjoy life together versus doing time. And so the first thing is we encourage you to build a strong friendship.
Yeah.
Build a strong friendship with your spouse. Proverbs 5:18 says what, honey?
It says, may your fountain be blessed.
I think that's 18 through 20.
May your fountain be blessed, and may you rejoice in the wife of your youth. A loving doe, a graceful deer, may her breasts satisfy you always. May you ever be intoxicated with her love. Why, my son, be intoxicated with another man's wife? Why embrace the bosom of a wayward woman? So
it means, enjoying what you all have together. It's so easy to look at what someone else has.
Yes.
It's so easy to think that the grass is greener on the other side. But, we heard that if you water your own grass, your grass will be green as well, And so I think it's vitally important that you enjoy what you have. Look at your spouse and say, thank you, God, for what you've given me. Yes, hey, Michael and Yolanda, that's right, doing life together. So it's important that you build a friendship with your spouse. And then the Bible also says in Proverbs 17, what is it, honey? No, it's not in Proverbs 17, but it says that a man that has friends must first show himself friendly. Mm-hmm. It says that a man who has friends must first show himself friendly, and a friend loves at all times. And so that means that through all seasons, through all disappointments, through all of the life that you all have together, that you be friendly. And then if you want to be a friend of your spouse, you must show yourself friendly. You don't want to choose anyone else above your spouse. And yeah, of course, we have friends outside of our marriage relationship or outside of our relationship, but we want your, that's right, we want your friend, your best friend, to be your spouse. And now let me put a caveat on that. That doesn't mean that you have to spend every day of every moment, with your spouse. It doesn't mean that you can't have friends outside, because in fact, you do need to have friends outside of the relationship to keep the relationship interesting, and to also make sure that you have other interests that you can bring back to the relationship to share. But what it does mean is that my spouse is my friend. It's the one that I confide in first. When I think of, good things that happen to me in my day, who do I think of calling first? I want to call Joel and let him know what just happened. And so again, you have to build the friendship, build the relationship with one another. And so, go ahead, honey.
No, and can I tell you just how important friendship is? I can't tell you enough how important it is, because I think Naomi and I have been married for 15 years. And our relationship has had its ups and downs like any other relationship. We've had some very intense moments. Like I like to say, we've had some intense fellowship when things got pretty tight around here and we were upset with one another. Naomi would be upset with me, or I would be upset with her.
Yes.
But do you know how hard it is to stay mad at your friend? And I can't tell you how many times our friendship has really saved our marriage. It's been our friendship that has really stepped in, because can I just be honest with you all tonight? Can we just keep it real?
Can we keep it real?
Can we keep it real tonight? Let us know if you all have ever been there. Have you ever had some challenging moments? Have you ever, been in some real difficult times? It has been our friendship.
Oh, love you back, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Because you won't always, be in love. You won't always have that lovey-dovey feeling as much as
the butterflies won't always be there. And you won't always feel like it.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm thinking about that sister last week. It was like, can you let him finish?
I'm finishing his sentence. That's what friends do.
But it's so exciting. We both want to jump in. But it's like, our friendship has saved us, because we don't always feel in love. We won't always be lovey-dovey and romantic. But it's our friend. I like my wife.
Right.
I like her. As much as I love Naomi, as much as I love being in love with, but I like her. I like her for who she is. I like her for what she stands for. I like how she makes me laugh. I like how she makes me smile. I just like being around Naomi, and it's been that way because out of our friendship, and that what we experienced in our friendship we've been able to
Yes.
carry on in our marriage. And so friendship, building a strong foundation on your friendship is so important.
Yeah, so building a strong friendship is number one. And so also, the other thing is that you both are friends with God. And I think that's vitally important. That's the foundation, the main foundation of the relationship. So having a relationship with God, building your foundation on God, and both being friends with God, which means you both have a relationship with God, that you're intimate with God, and then you're friends with one another, building a strong friendship. And so the second thing that we want to talk about is, wait a minute, before we go on to the build a strong friendship, the other thing was spending quality time together. So that's the first thing. Prioritize your relationship with your spouse above all others. Confide in one another before you confide in anyone else, and spend quality time together. That's how you build a strong friendship. Do us a favor, guys. Share this out. Tag someone. Yep. Tell everybody what we're talking about that may need to come on and hear us. Yes, God is
the mortar that bonds us together.
Amen. The glue.
I know that's
right. And so let someone know that we're on. Share, tag, and invite someone to come in and show us some love, everybody.
How many of you all have a strong relationship with your spouse? Why don't you hit the love button? If you have a strong friendship with your wife, if you still are good friends, good homies with your spouse or with your wife, why don't you hit the love button? Show us some like buttons. Hey, Jen, how you doing?
Come on in, everybody. How many of you, and then the other thing we want you to put in is tell us how long you've been married. How long have you been married? Are you friends? Type in friends if you have a friendship with your spouse, and then how long you've been married. Show us some love. Share this with somebody. Tag somebody and tell them the Marriage Investors are on. This is Black and Married with Kids Sunday Night Takeover, and this is Joel and Naomi, the Marriage Investors. And tonight we are talking about, are you doing life or are you marking time? And we're going to give you 4 ways that you can enjoy the time that you spend with your spouse. And if you're just now joining us, what we talked about is if you're doing life, that means that you're enjoying the time with your spouse. 29 years, Mike.
Hey.
That's good, Michael and Yolanda. 29 years in March. If you're doing life with your spouse, that means that you're enjoying one another, that you're enjoying the time, enjoying life with one another, experiencing life with one another.
Tammy says Tam is trusting God, friends, married for 5 years this April.
Woo-hoo!
Cynthia Coleman, 26 years in June. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, so are you doing time? Are you marking time, or are you doing life? Now, marking times mean that you're just barely making it every day. You're just checking the calendar. And if someone would ask you as you look back over it, yeah, we've done 15 years.
Right.
We've done, is it enjoyable? You're supposed to enjoy your spouse, not meaning that every day is, sunshine. You will have rain, but can you enjoy that, or can you say that you all have gone through that together, and your love and friendship has grown together because of, or you've been able to get through your hard times because you're with your friend. Yes. What's that? 30 years, March 24th. Yes.
Doing life.
That's
and that doesn't mean a life sentence. You know what I'm saying? That means doing life. I see so many people that say they've been married 20 and 25 years and they look miserable.
That's right. Michael says his wife is his favorite person and they're doing life.
Doing life. Come, I like that. Type that in. Doing life.
Are you doing life, or are you just marking the time so that you can say you have all of this time together? But what has this time been like? What has this time been filled with? You don't want to look back over your life and feel that you've wasted time, that you've wasted 15 years, but that you've enjoyed the time together. If I were to die tomorrow, I can say that the past 15 years that I've been with Joel, I have been blessed. We have had some rough times, y'all. We've gone through some ups and some downs, but I don't regret any moment. And so that's vitally important for us to understand. Doing life. That's what I'm talking about.
Jenny said 21 years this summer. Love me some him.
I know that's right.
And I love me some her. Come on, hit the love button for these couples that have been married 15, 5, 21 years. 35 years of overcoming.
38 years of overcoming, favor and joy. Yes,
I know that's right.
Overcoming is good.
Yeah, hit the love button.
We haven't always been like this. this, but we have overcome some things. Come on, share this with somebody.
I see the
who
love.
needs
I
some
see the love.
encouragement in their love and in their relationship. Hit the share button and let everybody know that we're on. So the second thing is, did I talk about the third thing? Spending quality time together. Spending quality time together was the fourth part of that building strong friendships. Day often is not the amount of time you spend together, but how you spend time together.
Yes,
you know, you
quality.
want to look for adventures, looking forward to a lifetime. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, Tam. You know, you want to look for adventures and you want to build your own traditions and you want to enjoy the time that you have with your spouse. Hey, twin, come on in.
What's up, twin? How you doing tonight?
The second thing, build memories. You want to build memories together. And then the way that you build memories together is learning to laugh together often. I mean, Joel keeps me laughing. He's such a jokester. I'm the more serious one.
No.
But this guy right here is always lighthearted, always laughing. And I just can't help but laugh with him. And he's always the same, even in hard times. I appreciate his personality and who he is.
Hey, cousin.
And the Bible says, you know,
a merry heart does good like a medicine.
merry heart does good like a medicine, but a broken spirit drives the bones.
Lord,
if you're always in a bad mood, if you can never find anything to laugh at, and maybe you are the more serious type, but you ought to be able to find a way to laugh. And even when we mess up, we have learned to laugh at ourselves. We look at each other and be like, Lord, help us, Jesus. You know what I'm saying? And you have to learn how to laugh at yourself. And even in the rough times, if you can find a place where we can laugh, you know, the joy of the Lord is our strength. And God will get us through if we can just learn how to have some joy. You know what I mean? Joy in the Lord. If nothing else is going right, we know that it won't always be like this, and this too shall pass. What did Mike say?
My goal is to make Myra laugh at least once a day. I know that's right.
Amen. That's right.
Yeah, because sometimes, you know, life is hard enough as it is. And life is serious enough as it is. So therefore, we have to find the moments to find joy in. And then we're talking about building memories together.
Yeah.
Some of the things that Naomi and I, we reflect on, and I'm like, man, you remember when we was laughing?
Lord, and some of the stuff, when we were crying over,
right?
We look back now and be like, Lord, if we had just looked up, we
you know what I'm saying?
Going through, but we just kept going, and we can laugh at ourselves, that we can laugh at the days ahead, that we, you know what I mean, just enjoying. And it doesn't mean that you don't have hard times. It doesn't mean that, you won't have difficulties, but it just means that as you're going through together and you're doing life together, that we can learn to laugh at each other and laugh at life. Like,
the situations that's come. I mean, hey, what's up, Anthony? How you doing? Laughter is a cure for all elements. I know that's right, Mark. And so ailments. But when we laugh together, it is so, refreshing. And sometimes, like, it's not the Bible that says this, but the old adage says sometimes you just gotta laugh to keep from crying.
Right.
I mean, we look at some of our situations and it may not be what we want it to be, and times might be challenging or times may be hard, but guess what? We got each other and we got God. So you know what? We're going to go through this thing together.
Yeah,
Mike says building positive memories is the best way to move past and release negative ones. Yeah.
Amen.
We have a lifetime, and it's amazing when we have these memories that we can fall back on. Even our children, our kids will come and say, Dad, you remember that time we did this? Or you remember that time? And we silly. I mean, it starts from the head, and just being silly.
That's right.
Sometimes even our kids laugh, and then that makes us laugh. I mean, sometimes we just are driving in the car and we can just bust out and see something or say something and just, and just have a good time,
just enjoying life together, not just marking time, not just to get through the day, not just to say we've been, we made it through, but just to say that we have enjoyed the life that God has given us as individuals and together. So we have to, the other thing is, laughing, but spending quality time together. So can I tell you that we need to be able to make the hours count? When we look at how much time we have in a day, so there are 24 hours in a day, and there is 86,400 seconds in a day. Just think, you get 86,400 seconds in a day. We all get the same amount of time.
The same amount of time.
24 hours in a day, 86,400 seconds. We all get the same amount of time. And so some people, you can see how they've done all of this in their one day. And then other people are wasting time arguing and fighting and bickering. And yes, I'm telling you, there will be times that we have to do that. But if we really value time, if we understand that tomorrow is not promised to any of us, if we understand that all we have is today, then certainly we need to look and see that we, that we actually need to make the most of our time. Hey, Nicole. Yes, we need to make the most of that time. And so counting the time is important, or making sure that we value time and understand that we get as much time as anybody else, and will we make the time count is valuably, or is notable. And so, or should be taken note of. That's what I'm trying to say. And so anybody understand where I'm coming from? Am I making sense to anybody? 86,400 seconds is what we get in a day. And what will we do with that time? Will we make the time count? Because we never know what may happen tomorrow. But we need to spend the time to loving each other. I remember when Joel and I were just going back and forth, arguing over this one thing. I mean, it went to bed with us and it woke up with us. And finally, Joe was like, hey, we need to stop this. He said, we need to be in love. We can be in love. We spending all of this time arguing over this one thing. Let's just let it go and let God bless us. I mean, and it was like a light bulb that came on, because we were so engrossed in this thing. And we had to realize that time is of essence, that we don't always get. We have to be wise, the Bible says, instead of foolish.
Can I give you a side order of scripture to go with
Yes,
that?
please.
Ephesians 5:15 says, be very careful then how you live, not as unwise, but wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. We got to make the most of every opportunity. If we love our spouses, if we love our families, we cannot put off till tomorrow what we can do today.
Absolutely.
We need to love and cherish our moments. And that's not to say, again, that we won't go through sometimes. But guess what? Let's hurry up and work towards a resolution.
Right.
The Bible also says we have to redeem the time.
All right.
The Bible also says that we got to work while it's daytime, because the nighttime's coming and can't nobody work.
That's right.
And so we got to put in our work now. We got to enjoy each other now. We have to do all that we can now with our spouses, because I don't want to look back and be like, man, I wasted all of this time. We could have been loving on each other. We could have been cherishing one another. And men, can I just say this to the men? Brothers, if you're out there listening, I want to do away with that term, the old ball and chain. Because that is something that men have said down through the years. And we just need to get rid of that kind of language.
Absolutely.
That's something that you say, come on, have you ever heard that before? Come on, give me a light. Let me know if you've ever heard that before. Talking about, this is the old ball and chain. This is dragging me down. Like this is some kind of weight that I'm connected to, that this is my life sentence. We need to cut that type of thinking off, because again, this is not the old ball and chain. This is my wife. This is my spouse. This is my gift.
Yeah.
Hello, somebody. This is my gift. And how are you going to treat your gift? This is a gift. Our spouses are a gift from God. And so therefore, how are we going to cherish our gift? So tonight, if you're just joining us, we're Joel and Naomi. We are the Marriage Investors. Tonight, we're talking about the difference between doing life and marking time. How many of you all are going to do life with us?
Yes, Michael, my rib. Absolutely.
Yes.
I'm his rib, and I'm glad. Hello. Yeah, that's right. Hey, Ronnie Ray. Come on in.
Come on, let's go. So we've already talked about the first thing. We've already talked about, let me hit you over here, babe, so you won't have to get up.
So,
Lord have mercy.
Build a strong friendship. and then build memories, positive memories. Thank you, Michael. We want to build positive memories with one another. We want to be friends, and we want to prioritize our relationship before anyone else, and we want to laugh together and spend quality time together. The third thing is find ways to sustain your love. Find ways to sustain your love.
That
and
sounds
so,
good.
through sickness and through health, through through for richer and for poorer. There may not be anything in those poorer times or in those sick times that you feel like you can grab a hold to. But we have to find ways to sustain our love. Thank you, honey, when I'm sick that you take care of me. I know you don't have to be here, and I know that's not easy, but I don't want to take you for granted. I want to recognize that your faithfulness to me. And so that's so very important that we let people know, let our spouses know that we don't want to take one another. That's right, no spare ribs, Yolanda. That we don't want to take one another for granted.
And Nisha, thank you. Yes, young people need to hear this. This is a message for everybody.
Yeah.
So do us a favor, share this post, get it out there, because we want to change people's paradigm. We want to change how people think about marriage, how they view marriage. We want to just bring the positivity that, marriage is not the end of life. This is the beginning of life. This is how you do life with
and there
your spouse.
are some happily married couples out there, and no, it's not perfect. And, we have issues, but it doesn't mean that we are enemies and we turn on one another and that everything has to result in World War II. It means that we turn toward each other in times of difficulty and we work on things together. And it means that we find ways to sustain our love because we are each other's accountability partner. There's some people who are assertive and they can just say what they need. There are other people who may not be and they avoid conversations. But when your spouse, someone said it earlier, it is my favorite person. When your spouse is your favorite subject, you want to learn what their fantasies are. You want to know, what their buttons are. You want to find out everything that you can about them so that you can be a blessing. And so when you've offended them, when you said something to discourage them or when they're even discouraged by others, and you are the one that they come to so that you can be a blessing and an encouragement to them. And so finding ways to sustain your love. And the way that you find ways to sustain your love is being intentional.
Yeah.
You want to be intentional. Like that means I'm looking for ways to sustain our love. Yes. I have to with you to my okay.
All right. Hey, what's up, cuz? Oh, Jana said, hey, cuz, you're talking too fast.
Oh, Lord, I'm sorry.
We trying to make sure we get in our time before the time runs out. We got so much good information.
That because somebody else probably feel the same way. So I appreciate you letting us know. I'm excited. So finding ways to sustain your love. 1 Corinthians 13 is the love chapter. And oftentimes we've used this at our weddings and our ceremonies. And so it's so important for us to understand that when we talk about 1 Corinthians 13, honey, what does it say? We'll give you a couple of verses from that. But we want to plug our name in those spaces. It says that love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. So if I put my name in there, this is how I can assess myself. If I'm finding ways to sustain love. Is Naomi patient? Is Naomi kind? Is Naomi envious? Right? And so it's so vitally important. Is Naomi boastful? Is Naomi proud? And so you check yourself. And every so often you need a heart checkup. We all need a heart checkup, right? And so it's vitally important for us to do that. Yes, be my husband's cheerleader. Absolutely. I am his cheerleader. What did we say, honey?
Yeah.
I'm your man. Caught him off guard. I'm his main cheerleader, right?
Right.
No, I'm his biggest cheerleader. That's
biggest
what it is.
Cheerleader. And just to give some reference to that, just this past week, I think I was given a duty or an assignment or something like that at work, and I was saying that, it was so, just amazing to see how, the department was, putting this vote of confidence in me. And I was like, well, you could do that. I know you could do that. I'm like, well, I just
not
had to stop and say thank you, Naomi, because Naomi is always giving me that boast of confidence, that boost of confidence, that vote of confidence. And that means so much that she's encouraging me. And so I just wanted to say that because, that's one of the ways that I have somebody in my life. I don't have to go outside looking, for things that I can get right at home.
Absolutely.
And that's a blessing when we can support each other and encourage each other, encourage our dreams and encourage what we're doing in life. And I know we're talking about sustaining our love right now, but you know what? The other thing is that love,
that's right.
we
don't, is your first ministry.
Yeah. And we don't have to, marriages, I want to change this paradigm that once you're married, that means you got to live this life of now you're being bored and now there's nothing else to do. I got to go home.
Yeah.
I got to go see what your wife want me to do. No, God said that he came that we might have life and have it more abundantly. That's and right. This is the type of life that we're talking about. We want to do abundant life with our spouses. And that's what we're talking about tonight.
Audrey, communication is vitally important. It's very important. It's the lifeblood of the relationship. We have to communicate our needs, communicate our likes and dislikes, communicate what's important to us and what's not. Communication is vital. Talk. That's what we tell people, because we would be surprised at how many of spouses do not talk to one another.
Right.
We're so busy passing like two ships in the night and so busy just trying to do life, and so busy trying to live life that we're not communicating. And certainly our relationships go through seasons. And we have to understand what season it is in our life. In these seasons past, like here in Chicago, it's winter time now.
Yes,
but
Lord.
Spring is a few days away. And so we have to understand that in our relationships, that springtime comes. It's not always winter time. And so I think that that's vitally important for us to understand.
Yes. Okay, so
but the other thing is, go ahead.
No, come on in. If you're just joining us,
talk back to us, guys.
Let us know that you're here. If you can relate to what we're talking about, why don't you hit the love button? Why don't you hit the like button? Because we're talking about not just doing marking time, but we're talking about doing life, having the abundant life with your spouse. So we're Joel and Naomi. Again, we want to pause right here to say, if you're just now joining us, why don't you do us a favor and hit replay? So that we'll know when you're joining us. And if you want to get more good information from Black and Married with Kids, why don't you hit update so our good friends Lamar and Ronnie Tyler will know how to get in contact with you. We want to make sure we keep this good information coming out to support our couples, because we believe in marriage. You don't have to just survive. You all. Marriages were not built to just survive. Marriages we're meant to thrive, and
Absolutely.
We can have a marriage that's built to last.
Absolutely. And so the final one for tonight, because we don't want to take up all of your time, the final one that we want to do tonight is be good company. Yes, you want to be good company. You don't want to, just expect that your spouse should love being around you, and you always have an attitude.
Lord have mercy.
That you're always negative. They can't find you can't find anything positive to say. That you're always in a bad mood. That you always don't feel like it. Be good company so that your spouse doesn't feel like they're in jail or that they're doing time or that, Lord, I don't even want to go home because I know already what the MO is. Okay, so that's important for us to understand that we want to be good company for our spouse, not to take one another for granted. And we want to be kind to one another. I think that sometimes we treat people outside of the home better than we treat people inside of the home.
Say that again.
Sometimes we give our spouses and our family what's left of us than what's the best of us. We go out and we spend time at work and we give them the best of us, and then we come home and we give our spouse and our family what's left of us. Or we're kind to everyone else outside of the home, but we take it out on everybody else inside of the home. We need to flip the script.
Right. Oh, can I just jump in right here? I'm digging my potatoes. I can't wait to get in. And this is really true as it relates to oftentimes Christian couples.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at church and we can hug each other and we can smile at one another and we can be friendly and kind and smile. And then when we get home, we get tight.
Absolutely.
You know, we don't share that same grace. And Naomi always talks about, is there space for grace in your relationship? Right. We should be, our marriages are our first ministry. And so therefore, if we're going to be loving and kind to anybody, we need to be loving and kind to our spouse.
Yeah.
And sometimes our spouses will get us mad. Sometimes we will be upset. But you know what? Sometimes we got to get over it and let God bless us. And so that's where it talks about conflict management. There's nothing wrong with being in conflict. Sometimes conflict is healthy.
Absolutely.
But we need to learn how to address the conflict so that we can get on with the business of living life.
Absolutely.
Conflict does not, Naomi just said, it does not have to mean it's World War III or it's Armageddon. This is the battle to the death. No, let's have a conflict. Let's learn how to resolve it so we can get back to the business of living and loving and being kind to one another. And can I say, when we're talking about being kind, can we talk about just being affectionate?
Mm-hmm.
You know, being affectionate to
Absolutely.
one another. When was the last time that you may have given your spouse a compliment?
Mm-hmm.
You know, say, hey, baby, I like how you looking today. Hey, baby, I love what you're wearing today. Baby, I love how you smell today.
Mm-hmm.
I love how you did your hair today. I mean, being kindly affectionate one to another and showing consideration.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, babe, I see you running late. Can I get you a cup of coffee? Or I see you running late. Or guess what? I know you're tired today. Let me knock out these dishes. Let me, do something to support each other.
Yeah, that's right, Norland. Making up. What is it? Break up to make up. I love the makeup part.
The makeup.
That's right.
Can we get a witness for the makeup?
Holding hands, and I love when he opens the door. Yeah, being kind to one another, not taking for granted, even saying thank you when they do those things. And sometimes my pastor used to say that we can be too common with each other. You know, where we don't even say thank you anymore. We don't show that, that we notice the kind things that do. That we just get to the point where, I expect him to do that.
Right. Common courtesy.
Being courteous to one another and not taking one another for granted. Ephesians 4:32 says to be kind and compassionate to one another, forgiving each other, just as Christ and God forgave us. If Jesus can forgive us of when he looks at us and he sees everything about us, if our life was to play across the screen today, we have some things that we sure don't. Yeah, showing appreciation that we could have been, out of here. But God has given us grace and has shown us favor. And we can do that with one another. We should do that with one another. Who else better than to do that with the one that we love and the one that we will spend the rest of our life with? So are you doing life or are you doing time?
I see some good tips. I just said making bath water.
Woohoo!
Hugging how to lavish each other with compliments and affection. Come on, here's some love. Give us some advice. Do you have any other tips on how we can show affection to one another? How we can show kindness and compassion to one another?
Learning to serve one another. So oftentimes we get caught up in ourselves. We become selfish as opposed to selfless. Now, self-care and selfishness is different. Yes, we are to take care of ourselves, but then we also are to be selfless. Cooking her favorite meal or cooking his favorite meal. Yes. Yeah, doing what your spouse likes.
The Bible talks about in one of the texts about, how God's blessings will overtake you.
Yeah.
I think that's Deuteronomy. Talking about how God's blessings will overtake you. When was the last time you overtook your spouse? Just wanted to love on them. Sometimes we just want to try to outdo each other. We want to outserve each other. I want the love to overtake her. I want her to know how much I love her, how much I appreciate that she's my wife. I don't want to take that for granted. I don't want her to feel, like I take her for granted. And sometimes we do. We get caught up in that. But when we recognize it and we're being more considerate and more thoughtful, we can correct our behavior because, again, we just don't want to mark time. We want to be...
Sunday,
Before you two leave, just want to say that you two look great on the big screen. Hey, all right, big screen action. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Is that Ronnie Ray?
That's Ronnie Ray.
Hey,
What's up, Ronnie Ray?
Thank you. But listen, it's been good to spend time with you guys. Were you gonna say something else, honey?
I probably was, but I forgot. It's just
a serving contest.
Yeah, serving contest.
Absolutely.
Because again, it's not about just marking time. Our spouses are a gift, and this is what we want to leave with you all tonight. Our spouses are a gift, So Yolanda, we want to encourage one another. We want to flirt with each other. Be aware of each other's needs. Help each other out.
Absolutely.
That's good stuff you all are sharing tonight.
Thank you, guys.
And that's what we want to do in this community. And we're so excited for BMWK, and we thank God again for Lamar and Ronnie for having this community, because you don't see this every day. You don't hear this every day.
Yeah.
And we can, black people can get together and we can love, black marriages do last.
Black
families,
love.
it is such a thing as being black and in love, being black and married. Yeah, so we want to lift up that positivity that comes with being married. And we're not just doing time, we're doing life.
Yeah, so listen, Valentine's Day is coming up this week. And you have a head start. You can start thinking of a way to plan a good time. And so the challenge is, if you had to come up with an idea for a really fun and adventurous outing, what would it be? What would you like to do that you've never done together before? I mean, and you have an opportunity this week to do it. Try something new. Look up something different. Even if you're not able to get outside, what can you do inside?
Yeah.
Do some research online and find some ways to have an exciting Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day come around every year. And if after you've spent many of those times together, you may be like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. But just do something different this week and find a way to do something different. What does it say? Remind people to apologize when needed. Absolutely. We need to make sure that we say I'm sorry, because that's a love language. Being able to apologize. Go ahead.
I'm digging my potatoes
over
again.
Here, digging his
Chomping
potatoes
at the
again.
bit. I got another message. I got another email from heaven, so I want to put it out there real quick. Guys, sisters and brothers, Naomi just mentioned Valentine's. Can I do another myth buster right here? This is another myth buster. I know so many people say, oh, Valentine's Day is commercialized. I show my love 365 days of the year. I don't need a holiday to show my wife how much I love her. I don't need a holiday to show my husband. It's all about the money. You know what? I don't care what the holiday is. This is a great opportunity to just do something special, do something kind. And so what if you do it 365 days of the year? Do it one more day.
Go the extra mile.
Go the extra. Be intentional. There's nothing wrong with, showing love. Why not get caught up in the mood? Why not get caught up in the excitement? Why not get caught up in the joy? And it doesn't have to be expensive.
Right.
You don't have to spend a lot of money. You can do something that is thoughtful and caring and special. And you don't really have to spend a lot of money to do it. Be creative.
Yeah.
Love on your spouse. Be intentional, because that's what we're talking about.
Norland also said that Groupon has some great ideas as well. So check out Groupon. Put some more ideas in, and you all can come back and check this a little bit later. And so, absolutely, it's important. It's not just for the guys. It's also it's not just for the ladies, it's also for the guys. Yes, check out Dr. Chapman's 5 Love Languages of Apology. Yes, we love that, Michael.
Great.
That's good.
That's great.
Learn how to say I'm sorry, and even how your spouses receive your apology makes a difference. And so, guys, we've held you long enough. Thank you so much for spending this Sunday evening with us. Remember to look us up at www.themarriageinvestors.com. We want to give you a complimentary 30-minute consultation. So please leave us your information on the website, and then come and talk to us if you have something you want to talk about. And if you know someone else that may need to talk to us, give them our information. And then also we have prayer every Wednesday morning at 5:30 a.m. Central Time. Thanks, Audrey. 5:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you look on our page at themarriageinvestors.com, we'll have that information and our number so you can join us and pray for other couples.
And in addition to prayer in the morning, we also do our own Wednesday night Facebook Live.
Yeah.
And so we want to invite you to come and join us on Wednesday night. That's our regular night of doing our Facebook Live. It's called the Marriage Investment Moment. And so you don't have to wait until next Sunday. You can kick it with us on Wednesday night as well. We would love to see you. So come on in.
At 7:30.
Yeah, so we just want to say thank you again so much. We don't take this time for granted. We know that you all could be doing a million other things. We know that this was BMWK Takeover. We know it was Super Bowl Sunday Takeover. So thank you all. Thank you, Lamar and Ronnie. Thank you all for joining us tonight. And again, be thinking about Valentine's Day. Think about it, what you want to do with your spouse. Make it special because, again, we don't want to just mark time.
South Carolina,
we want to do life. We want to do life.
Yeah, we don't want to just mark time. We want to do life, and we want to enjoy the time that we spend with our spouse. So God bless you all. Love you so much. We'll see you again on Wednesday or next Sunday. And until then, we'll be keeping you guys in our prayers. God bless you.
God bless you all.
Love you back. Love you back. Thank you. Yep. See you all on Wednesday. Thanks. Love you guys. Bye-bye.